Territorial space and framing. Here we will look at examples of framing and territorial space as used in Raiders of the Lost Ark. In order to avoid a flat composition, directors tend to compose on three visual places: the midground, the foreground, and the background. One of the most basic yet important decisions the film director makes is what shot to use in relation to the subject that is photographed. That is, how much detail should be included in the frame. How close should the camera get to the subject? Since the viewer's eye tends to identify with the camera lens, the lens is also how close we are to the subject. All of the considerations about how to shoot the subject is called framing. Filmsite.org defines framing as the way a shot is composed, in the manner in which subjects and objects are surrounded or framed by the boundaries or perimeter of the film image, or by the use of a rectangle or enclosing shape, such as a shadow, mirror, door, or hallway, within the film image. Also, camera angles such as low-angle and high-angle shots contribute to the framing. Reframing refers to short panning or tilting movements of the camera to adjust to the character's movements and keep them on screen, centered, or in the frame. Tightly framed shots are generally close to the subject, giving a sense of confinement. We can generally figure out who the dominant characters are because they occupy more space than other characters. The amount of open space within the frame can be used to show isolation, freedom, or other effects. These are called loosely framed shots and are generally longer shots, which means you seem farther from the subject or they take in more of the background. A tightly framed shot is the opposite and uses close-ups. These can create a feeling of intimacy or can be threatening. A common framing technique is a frame within a frame. Sometimes figures are framed by a window or a doorway, which can also create a sense of being trapped, alone, or emotionally isolated. This often accompanies a character that has to make a difficult decision. An actor can be photographed in any of the 5 basic positions, each conveying different psychological undertones. Full front facing the camera, the quarter turn, mostly front of camera, profile looking off frame left or right, the 3/4 turn, mostly back to the camera, and the character's back to the camera. The full front position is the most intimate. The character is looking in our direction as if they are looking at us. The opposite is also true. A figure facing away can seem shy or can create distrust in the viewer. If the character is friendly, the more directly they face another character, or we, the audience, the more inviting they should seem. If, however, we think the character can't be trusted, they may then become more threatening the more directly they face us. There are many great uses of framing in this film. To discuss the psychological implications of framing, I've picked a few favorite scenes. First is the reveal of Indiana Jones. The first time we see him in the movie, he's got his back to us and is also cast in shadow. We don't know what to make of him. He's a total mystery. He turns and disarms an assassin and steps into the light facing us. The position of his body, along with the use of light, hints that he's one of the good guys. Even though he's shown that he's not someone to mess around with, we're not threatened by him. His face isn't full of hate or rage at the man who just tried to kill him. It's as if Jones knew there would be people who would turn on him on this adventure. He can efficiently handle a dangerous situation and so seems confident, at least in this scene. As an audience, we quickly develop trust in him, and it's partly due to his body language. When Jones and Miriam first meet up, we can see their difficult history in their body language. They don't need to say what specific problems they had in the past. We can see it in the framing. The way they position their bodies makes it so they can't face each other. Also, there's often furniture in between them, which creates distance. This all symbolizes the emotional distance between them. But later in the film, a mirror is used to reframe Jones and Miriam's relationship. The adventure has brought them closer together. They've helped each other and even saved each other's lives several times at this point. But as Jones looks in the mirror, and his beaten and bruised face, he seems to be thinking that he's still making some poor life decisions. Miriam, on the other side of the mirror, is using it simply to check how she looks. This shows that perhaps her feelings seem to be rekindled for Jones. Again, there's a problem with the furniture separating them, but after she accidentally smacks Jones in the chin with the mirror, she comes around to his side. Now we can see them together in the reflection. The way they are framed in the mirror could be a hint that they might sort out their problems after all.